Welcome to the video. In today's conversation, we're going to dive deep into the 8 psychological cues that women secretly find you attractive. These cues aren't always immediately obvious, but knowing what they are can give you a real advantage. In understanding how attraction works, attraction is more than just physical appearance. It's about the way you carry yourself, how you make her feel, the subtle signs you give off that convey your true character now. What you might not know is that many women can pick up on these cues instinctively, even if they don't realize it consciously. The brain is constantly working, picking up signals from your body language, tone of voice, and even the energy you give off. So, let's break these down and give you the tools to understand these hidden signals and how to use them to your advantage. The first psychological cue that women secretly find you attractive is something that's subtle but powerful, called eye contact. You've probably heard that the eyes are the windows to the soul. And that's because eyes are one of the most revealing parts of the body when it comes to emotions. Women are naturally drawn to someone who can maintain confident, yet comfortable eye contact. This isn't about staring at her like you're trying to hypnotize her, but rather creating a connection. A moment where you both lock eyes, and for a split second it feels like time stops. That's when attraction begins to blossom. Maintaining good eye contact shows you're confident, grounded, and genuinely interested in her, but there's more to it than just the glance. When she feels that your gaze is warm and inviting, not cold or judgmental, she starts to feel comfortable around you. And comfort is the cornerstone of attraction. If she notices that you're someone who isn't afraid to make eye contact, but knows when to break away, you'll come across as someone who's easygoing, calm, and yes, definitely attractive. Moving on to the second cue. This one is a bit more behavioral. It's called mirroring. Mirroring happens when you naturally mimic someone's actions, speech patterns, or body language. It's something we do subconsciously when we feel comfortable with someone, and women are especially attuned to this behavior. When you mirror her gestures or speech, it sends a message that you're in sync with her. You understand her without even needing words. If she notices you subtly mirroring her movements or tone, she'd begin to associate you with a sense of harmony. People like being around those who make them feel understood and seen. So don't overthink it, just let things flow naturally. If she laughs, laugh with her. If she leans in, you lean in too. When you create this kind of synchronicity, attraction builds effortlessly now. Let's talk about something that seems like a small thing but actually carries a lot of weight: your voice. The tone and pace of your speech can convey a lot of messages without you saying a word. Women are highly sensitive to the way you speak because your voice reveals your emotions and your state of mind. If you speak with a calm, deep voice, it signals to her that you're confident and in control. A voice that is too high-pitched or shaky, on the other hand, may come off as nervous or insecure. The key here is to speak slowly and clearly, but with a calm tone. Women find men with deep, steady voices attractive because they perceive them as secure and reliable. So, don't rush your words, take your time, speak with purpose, and let the natural confidence in your voice shine through. Let's talk about your posture. Now, this is a big one. Women are naturally drawn to men who stand tall, with their shoulders back and their chest open. It's not about being taller or bigger than others, but rather about conveying strength and self-assurance. When you stand up straight, you signal that you're someone who respects themselves and the space around them. It's easy to tell when someone is slouched or hunched over because it communicates a lack of confidence. Women are subconsciously attracted to men who appear physically confident, and that confidence translates to how they feel about you on an emotional level. So next time you walk into a room, straighten up. Walk like you belong there. Another cue is smiling. But it's not just any smile. The difference between a forced smile and a natural, warm smile is something women can easily detect. When you smile from your eyes, not just your mouth, you come across as someone who's approachable, friendly, and positive. Women like being around men who have a positive outlook on life because that energy is contagious. A smile also shows warmth and openness. It invites her into your world and makes her feel more comfortable around you. If you're the type of person who can smile easily and genuinely, you'll be seen as a man who is not only attractive, but also emotionally available. That's an incredibly appealing trait. On the flip side, let's consider the importance of physical touch. This doesn't mean being overly touchy or invasive, but rather knowing how to use touch in a way that creates connection and builds intimacy. Whether it's a light tap on the shoulder or a casual touch on her arm, physical contact, when done appropriately, creates a sense of closeness and trust. It's the little gestures that make a big impact when a woman feels comfortable enough to touch you back or even just hold eye contact while you're engaging in light conversation.
Ow.
She starts to feel a deeper connection to you. That's when attraction starts to go beyond the surface and into a deeper, more emotional level. Another psychological cue that can increase your attractiveness is being a good listener. Women don't just want someone to talk at them. They want someone who listens and engages with them. When you show that you're paying attention to what she says, nodding along and responding thoughtfully, it communicates that you value her opinion. Being a good listener demonstrates emotional intelligence, and emotional intelligence is a key trait women find attractive. It signals that you're someone who can understand and empathize with them. Lastly, one of the most significant cues is your level of independence. Women are drawn to men who have their own lives, passions, and pursuits. When you have your own interests, hobbies, and goals, it shows that you are a self-sufficient person. This independence is a form of strength and security. A man who doesn't rely on others for validation or emotional support is someone who can offer those things in return. So, if you've got your own path and are constantly striving to better yourself, it's going to make you irresistible to women. They want someone who is not just dependent on them for happiness, but someone who is capable of finding fulfillment on their own. And that's a wrap on that. 8 psychological cues women secretly find you attractive. Remember, attraction isn't just about looks, it's about how you make her feel when you're around. By understanding these cues, you can present the best version of yourself and connect with women on a deeper level. So, go ahead, start using these cues, and you'll see your attraction game go to the next level. Thanks for watching. As we continue, let's dive into the next part of our conversation: confidence in your actions. This might seem like a no-brainer, but confidence isn't just something you show in how you speak or your posture. It's also about how you act in your day-to-day life. A man who makes decisions with confidence, who knows what he wants, and goes after it without hesitation, is extremely attractive to women. Think about it. Women admire men who are decisive, who don't second-guess themselves constantly. It's not about being arrogant or stubborn, but about showing that you're capable of making choices and sticking with them. This is especially important in social situations if you're the one who suggests the place for dinner or the activity for the evening. And you do it with assurance. It signals that you're not only self-assured, but also reliable. It's also about taking responsibility for your actions. When you can own up to mistakes without making excuses, it shows maturity and emotional strength. Women are naturally drawn to men who take accountability, because this reflects integrity and trustworthiness, 2 qualities that go a long way in creating deep, lasting attraction. Now let's talk about humor, a trait that's often overlooked, but absolutely essential when it comes to attraction. Women are drawn to men who can make them laugh, but not just with jokes or one-liners. It's about the ability to be playful, lighthearted, to not take yourself too seriously all the time. Humor is a powerful bonding tool because it creates a positive environment. And positivity is something women love to be around. A sense of humor also signals intelligence, social savvy, and emotional warmth. It helps create a connection that goes beyond just superficial attraction. When you can make her laugh, not only does it break the ice, but it builds rapport in a way that makes her feel more relaxed and open to you. But here's the key: don't force it. If your humor feels forced, it can have the opposite effect. It's important to stay authentic to who you are, and if humor comes naturally to you, let it flow. Don't be afraid to laugh at yourself or share a funny story. It shows that you're confident enough to not take yourself too seriously. An important cue that women secretly find attractive is your passion. Passion is contagious. Whether it's about your work, hobbies, or life in general, women are drawn to men who have a fire for something. Passion gives you a sense of purpose and direction, which in turn makes you a more compelling figure. Passion doesn't have to be about grand gestures. It could be as simple as the way you talk about your favorite subject or the energy you bring to a conversation. When a woman sees that you are genuinely excited and driven by something, it's incredibly attractive. Passion signals that you are a person who has goals and is committed to achieving them. And that's the kind of energy that makes a woman want to be a part of your life. Alongside passion, let's not forget about respect. It's one of the most attractive qualities you can have. And here, we're not just talking about respect for her, but for everyone you interact with. Women, notice how you treat the waiter, the barista, the person driving your car. How you treat others speaks volumes about your character when you show kindness and respect to everyone around you. It reflects that you're a compassionate, humble person who values humanity. This kind of behavior makes women feel like they're safe with you, not just in a physical sense, but emotionally too. A man who treats others with dignity, regardless of their status, shows that he is secure and has strong moral values. And that's very attractive now. Let's take a deeper look at how emotional availability plays a crucial role in attraction. Women find men attractive who are open with their emotions, who aren't afraid to express themselves in a healthy way. It's about balance, being emotionally available without being overly dramatic or needy. Women want someone who is capable of being vulnerable, someone who isn't afraid to show when they're happy, sad, or frustrated. This emotional openness makes a connection feel more real and intimate. It's not about spilling all your emotions at once or being overly sensitive, but rather about creating a safe space where both partners can be open and honest with one another. Next up, let's talk about independence again, but from a slightly different angle beyond just your hobbies and interests. Women find men who are emotionally independent incredibly attractive. What this means is that you have your own life, your own circle of friends, and your own activities, and you don't rely on her or anyone else for your sense of happiness or self-worth. Emotional independence is extremely appealing because it shows maturity. It signals that you're comfortable with yourself and that you can give her the space she needs without feeling insecure or clingy. In the long run, women want to be with someone who supports their independence just as much as they respect his. It's about balance, where both partners grow and thrive individually, while still building a deep emotional connection together. Benelli. Let's touch on mystery. Mystery is something women find incredibly intriguing. You don't have to give everything away in the first conversation. In fact, sometimes less is more. When you leave a bit of mystery around who you are, it sparks curiosity. Women like a man who doesn't reveal everything about himself all at once. This makes her want to learn more and keeps her coming back to figure you out. The key here is not playing games, but rather taking your time and getting to know each other. Being a little elusive in the beginning helps build attraction, but it's important to balance that with openness and genuine connection as the relationship progresses. And there you have it, more psychological cues that women secretly find you attractive. The key takeaway here is that attraction goes far beyond looks. It's about the energy you bring, the way you interact with others, and how you make a woman feel when she's around you. By understanding these psychological cues, you'll not only become more attractive, but also build stronger, deeper connections with women in your life. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more insightful content. Let me know in the comments which psychological cue you think is the most powerful, and feel free to share your thoughts. Till next time, stay confident, stay genuine, and keep growing.